around 1992, man, these guys, I guess, are named me and my brother. My brother was known. He was in California Youth Authority. He was known throughout the system for being one of the, the hardest writers and rappers inside the system. And so his name was ringing bells in there. And my name was ringing bells kind of out here in the local area down in LA. And it's crazy because one day these two guys that we actually knew since we was little kids put up on our block. And they were like, we heard you guys be rapping. We was like, yeah, we do our thing or whatever. And they was like, well, spit something for us. And me and my brother, spit a verse apiece. And they was like, stay here tomorrow. We going to the studio. You know what I'm saying? And we was like, yeah, okay. I didn't really take them too serious, you know what I mean? But when they came back, they actually was serious. My brother was still there. They took my brother to the studio and it happened to be with Eazy. And when my brother came back, he had like about 4 songs recorded. He had a bunch of songs he was writing to. And he was telling me like, I was in the studio with Eazy or whatever. And I was like, yeah? I was like, next time they come back, I'm gonna be here. So when they came back, I ended up going to the studio with them. And they were working on Real Compton City G's. And actually, I wasn't even supposed to be a part of that song. The funny thing about it, I just happened to be there while they was recording it. So while they had the song playing on the Real to Real, when they was trying to lay it down in the studio, the part that I actually rapped on was a piece of the beat that they didn't understand, what happened, because from going from reel to reel to tape, the beat was one way. And then on the Real to Real, in the studio, it was different. So it was like this long stretch of beat still in there. And it was like, how did this get there? And they was like, well, what are we going to do with this part of the beat? Because everything else was laid out. And so everybody turned around and looked at me and was like, go see if you can do something. So I went in there, man. I spit every rap that I known to, that I had in my head. And it was like, keep going. Eazy was like, do something else, do something else. And, back then, I was kind of young. I was, still in high school. I was wild. I was smoking a lot of marijuana or whatever. So I told him, give me some weed, man. So I went in the studio. I went in that booth. And I just like, that verse just came out of me. Like, I just freestyled it off the top of my head and they were recording it. And so they was like, that's it, that's it. They told me to come out the booth, write it down, change some words here and there, And then the rest is history, man. Real Compton City G's, man. 20-something years later, so.